Hey everyone, I'm Julie Ireland and I'm a GTD coach. And I wanted to talk about a concept that I learned from one of the coaches that I work with. It's like GTD adjacent. So it like dovetails with GTD, but I didn't learn this from GTD, which is this concept called expectations versus agreements. So I first learned about this many years ago. I was in a coaching program and one of the guest facilitators, his name was Steve Chandler, and he's kind of very well known out there in the coaching world. And he brought forward this concept. I don't think he created it. I think he learned it from someone else, but he's the one that taught it to me. And it was really, really powerful. And, in the framework of GTD, like a lot of the essence of it is managing agreements, and we externalize those agreements in a trusted system. We capture them, we clarify them, we organize them, in a system that then we're reviewing regularly so that then we can decide if we want to keep them or renegotiate them. Part of the daily review, part of the weekly review. That is pretty road tested and rock solid. And then, working with Steve, he brought kind of this like nuanced concept, which is expectation versus agreement. And, it was really kind of quite eye-opening for me. So the essence of it is that, an agreement is something that it's either made with ourselves or made with another person, but there's some kind of like, it's an agreement, right? I'm going to send you this. And then that is something that it's shared, either inside of me or with another person. And it's super clear and explicit. And expectation is often what is kind of more commonly happening, particularly prior to a GTD practice, which is I'm making a lot of assumptions about how I think other people should act, about how the world should work, about how how things should play out. And they're really based on my own assumptions, my own preferences, my own conditioning, things like that. People have been in coaching conversations with me, have heard me talk a lot about this. And one of the examples I use was my father was very, very particular about time. And his concept of being late was really like the threshold was 15 minutes. So if you weren't 15 minutes early for something, you were late. And if you're late, like it's just like you were kind of a bad person, like inconsiderate. Like he really took that to like this level of, let's just call it like judgment. So I was growing up and like 15 minutes early, like I want to be a good kid. I want to be a good person. So therefore I was holding myself to this, this kind of rule around like you got to be 15 minutes early at least. So then fast forward, when I was 18, I went to college and I kind of got like, it was like the school of hard knocks kind of kicked out of me because I very, very quickly realized that the world does not operate under Bill Ireland's concept of time. So I would be 15 minutes early to a class. Can you just imagine like being a college student 15 minutes early to a class? Like I'm standing in the hallway, crickets, no one's around, about like 2 minutes after the hour, the professor comes and locks the door and everyone files in. And I was like aghast, right? Like what? Like all these people, they're so inconsiderate. I was like making all these kinds of, and then I realized, hey, wait a second. Like, it's not a universal thing. It was just really, part of how I grew up in my household. And so we kind of do this to each other. We have these expectations, like someone should send a thank you note, always. Someone should do this or someone should do that. And, it's really, really helpful if we really look at that in terms of like driving it more to an agreement. Not that we're trying to be like bossy pants or anything, but it's so much easier because these expectations, they kind of like sit in the background and they fester and they can really create disappointment and frustration. They kind of just cook in the background versus an agreement. It's like, hey, listen, this is what I mean by this and this is what I mean by this. And we're going to keep that agreement until or if we need to renegotiate it. So, my invitation is to kind of just look out into your world and just really kind of like loving curiosity, right? And go like, am I really making agreements, or am I kind of subtly running some expectations that could be dialed it a little bit more to an explicit agreement, so that I'm not just kind of running my stuff here and getting disappointed. So as always, I hope this helps. Feel free to leave a comment, question, etc. Thanks so much.
For more GTD resources, please visit gettingthingsdone.com and David Allen's YouTube channel. For more information, please email us at info@gtdfocus.com or visit our website, gtdfocus.com/contact.